So, if you were married by Utah virtual online marriage, do you still have to meet in person? Hi, I'm attorney Megan Pastrana of Immigration for Couples, and my firm is dedicated exclusively to helping couples across the nation and across the world in navigating the U.S. immigration process. Please be sure to select the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on future videos and updates. I regularly post videos on this channel with information as it relates to the world of immigration for couples. I also host weekly live chats on Facebook and YouTube, and so you'll also want to follow our Immigration for Couples Facebook page. Those weekly live chats are an opportunity for you to ask me your questions live, so you won't want to miss out on that. All right, so let's go into this question about virtual Utah marriages and the meeting requirement. This is one of those questions that I'm getting a lot here recently on lives. People are very interested in the virtual Utah marriage. And I'd like to first start with, what is that? Maybe you haven't heard of that, and I want to make sure that you have context. So the virtual online Utah marriage, it's super fascinating. It was something that was actually in the works before COVID. And it was something that had been proposed to facilitate the marriage process for residents of Utah. It's a great idea. It was such a fantastic time too to have that released right there at the start of COVID. And it's actually just had so many implications beyond just making the marriage process easier for residents of Utah. It's allowed many people across the world, and I don't think that they really even knew at the time when they were making this proposal and implementing this, the impact that this virtual marriage would have. And I did a recent podcast with Reverend Heron, and I will make sure that is linked here, or you can also just check out our website, immigrationforcouples.com, under the podcast tabs. And she actually is an officiant of these virtual Utah marriages and she and I talk about in more detail that process for getting married virtually. So a lot of couples are turning to this option. Couples who are going through the immigration process are turning to this option if marriage in that immigrant's country is too difficult. Marriage laws vary so much from country to country, and so some countries have more rigorous requirements. It's more complex. So much more paperwork, a ton of paperwork you have to go through just to get married, and then you have to go through the immigration process. So a lot of couples have turned to this virtual marriage. And a question that I'm receiving from couples is this going to be a solution if we can't meet in person? Can we use this virtual marriage, get married online, and do we still have to meet that requirement of an in-person meeting? The virtual Utah marriage is something that was started in 2020. The rules and laws around marriage requirements for immigration were written before this virtual Utah marriage. So there's a lot of things that are new or novel and are still being explored by immigration. I'm sure we will likely see maybe policy changes and additional requirements. But I'll tell you what things look like right now here in the middle of 2024 is that immigration has something called a proxy rules regarding marriage. So it's important to understand the virtual Utah marriage isn't a proxy marriage, it's a virtual marriage. But immigration is currently considering this virtual marriage to be a proxy marriage. And so what is a proxy marriage? A long time ago, there was this option, and during times of kings and queens, to have a proxy marriage, have someone stand in and be the bride or the groom, so a marriage ceremony could occur. And proxy marriages still exist, and immigration has made additional requirements. If one or both of the parties are not present for that ceremony, that's a proxy marriage. Then you have to show immigration that marriage has been consummated. So it's an additional requirement. And so with immigration, treating Utah virtual marriage is basically this type of proxy marriage. That requirement to meet in person would still stand. And so we have many clients who have used the Utah virtual marriage as an option for their marriage, that they've moved forward with that, and if they've gotten married, they have gotten married via that platform. And then we've had to prove to immigration not only that their marriage is legally binding, that they met this consummation requirement by meeting in person after the marriage, or they were together physically for that ceremony. Because for the Utah virtual marriage, you can be together on the same Zoom screen and your officiant would be in a different place. So it's a very complex and interesting and unique option. And I really encourage you to check out that podcast episode as well if you're wanting to learn more. But please do understand that being able to get married virtually is a great option, and immigration has additional requirements beyond just that legally binding marriage that they are going to want to see. And if you are needing help with navigating the complexities of getting married virtually and making sure you're preparing and submitting the strongest application possible, our team at Immigration for Couples has helped many couples through this exact process. We'd be happy to help you. Please check out our website to schedule a consultation at immigrationforcouples.com. And if you're looking for free resources on your immigration journey, again, check out immigrationforcouples.com. We have tons of downloadable charts and a free relationship evidence guide you will want to check out. Thanks so much for watching.